Well, why don't you introduce our nice guest this morning?
I would just love that. LaDonna Gass, you know, you had been talking about the fact that she was rehabbing the depot in Emden, and I was grocery shopping, and there she was, because that's where she works. That's where she works to get paid. Emden is where she works to not get paid. She works very hard in Emden and in Lincoln. But at any rate, she started telling me about her cause up there in Emden, and it is absolutely phenomenal, the work this girl has done. You know, I get good ideas sometimes too, Bill. I know that's hard for you to imagine, but sometimes I think nice things, but I just don't seem to bring them to fruition the way LaDonna Gass has.
You short yourself there,
She
but go ahead.
has gone to the Emden Council, the city fathers, and they said, well, they didn't have any money, but she could use the depot, and LaDonna tells me there are only 4 left in Logan County. And I can't think where the 4th is, but there's Emden's, there's ours, there's the one in Union, and the 4th is
Latham.
In Latham. Okay, well, she undertook this, and it's like moving mountains. And every part of what you want to do there has been given by people who want to help see you bring this to being, because it's such a noble cause. Tell us how you've gotten your money, and the people who, when you talked about the foundation and they weren't sure what kind of foundation you were talking about, who came through?
I'd like to go back first, if I may. How did you? This is your idea. You came up with this. I'm really intrigued, and because Judith and I put so much emphasis on what it means to be in a small community here in Central Illinois and the advantages. And if I didn't know of a prime one here, here's one right here.
Yes.
So, how did this start, LaDonna?
Well,
and then we want to get back to Judith's question.
The school system used to have a summer library program, and it was coming to an end real soon. And I had always, back in the early 80s when I was on the Citizens Consulting Committee for the school, they were saying, you know, we needed a local library in our area. And I had suggested that way back then, but, you know, I think they thought too much work and no money, you know.
Well, you can attest to that.
Yes. And it kind of got, you know, shuffled under the rug. But in 06, I think that was the last year for the school summer library where the kids could go. So my neighbor, her husband was on the town board, and I had suggested it to her, and she loved the idea, had her husband bring it up, and the town liked the idea. And they decided, okay, you know, if you want to give it a try, we don't have any money to help you, but if you want to give it a try, we'll let you have access and see what you can do. So that's all I needed to get going.
Just a little nip right there, and then you started,
Yeah, so once we got going, we just started with a couple of boxes of books and started cleaning. It was just a storage building, you know.
That had to be a daunting task to just clean it.
Yeah, it was filthy. It had been closed for many years, you know. And
I'm sure it had been overtaken by bugs and birds and what have you.
Well, it was in pretty sad shape, but it was just very fulfilling to do it because I had a goal, and I was bound and determined I was going to get there one way or another, you know.
So she asked about the fund and the money and so forth, and it's interesting. I'm very intrigued. One source of the money, and it speaks again to what a small community does, one helping another. But go ahead, LaDonna, tell us about how you began to get your funding on this.
Well,
it's really a big job.
It was after Nancy Saul had written the story in the paper, people started sending me money, and then my church, it started, you know, it gave me some money a couple of times. Some of the local people gave me money. Then I got on the community chest and Orville Township, the Sons of the American Legion. It just started building gradually. I had several fundraisers. I had like 7 in 1 year trying to raise money, and the mayor was so good. If he had any avenues for money, he led me there. I went and pleaded at the courthouse, at the Logan County Courthouse for funds, and I got on that bandwagon, and every dime I locked up in that bank because I knew that we were going to have a foundation for that building, because with all the weight of the books and everything in there is donated, which is so amazing. There's nothing in there. Everything is donated by somebody. The books are wonderful. They're current. But anyway, we kept building the money up, and we finally, I said, okay, we have to get some estimates on what this is going to cost, because I have to know how much I've got to raise. Well, the estimate was $15,000, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get to $15,000.
Yeah.
But actually, I got to 10, and I thought, oh, there's light at the end of the tunnel. But we had all this rain, and then the weight of the books and the people going in and out every week. The building just started to practically come apart. I mean, it was just not going to survive very much longer. So I was just desperate. Did not know how I was going to get, another $5,000. And it just so happened, after I had gotten the Studs Turtle Award in December.
Hold that thought, too. I want to go into that later, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, it was in the paper, and some customers that I've known for years that come in the store, Carol and Jim Greger, they come in and said, we know how you can get the rest of that money to finish your project. Because I think every article said I needed this money for the foundation, So they knew I was pretty desperate. But I said, I don't think I can get it. But, I've been turned down before for money, and it doesn't hurt to ask. No doesn't hurt you. So Carolyn had said, I want you to call Judy Cavastani at Mount Pulaski. She's in charge of the Danner Trust over there, and they help situations just like you have. It's a historical building. It's a library. This needs to be done. It's a desperate situation. You call her and talk to her. So I did, and she was quite nice. Said she wanted me to write up a story and send pictures, which I sent lots of pictures so they could actually see the damage. And she had kept in touch with me. Well, we're going to have a board meeting. We're going to talk. We can't give you all the money. I said, well, I don't need all the money. I have some money. So finally one day she called me and said, tell me exactly, to the cent, how much money you have and how much you're going to need to finish this project. So it came to like $4,500. And so she said, well, I don't know if we can give you all the money because they only pay off of the interest. But we'll see what we can do. And so I was at an auction trying to buy some railroad memorabilia just to enhance the depot, and she called me while I was there and said, this is Judy, and I just wanted to let you know we're going to give you the rest of the money that you need to finish this project. I was like, I just won the lottery. Yeah. I was so happy. I was so excited. I just felt like I won the lottery. Actually, I did, because
this is money staying within the community, of course, but from one little community to help another.
Yes.
And how neat that is.
It was amazing.
I mean, that just speaks to, what you and I are talking about, Americana, that type of thing. It really is very significant. And we certainly tip our hat off to Judy Cavastani.
Yes.
And to your Carolyn Greger.
Yes, bless them people.
Suggesting that. Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have known that avenue if they hadn't tipped me off.
No.
I had never heard of it. I didn't know that they had helped the mill here in Lincoln. I wasn't familiar with that, and so it was just a godsend. They came and helped me, and then Mount Pulaski helped me, because I had called the senators. I had called their offices. I had called Jesse White's office. I had went every avenue that I could think that would help me, but it ended up it was Mount Pulaski that helped me.